of all, I want to thank you guys for coming. Before I do all the introductions and everything, I'm going to have Coach Joe from CrossFit Media. He's going to get everyone's blood pumping. Everyone stand up. He's going to lead you guys.
Double check your phone that we're live.
Okay, we'll go along with warm-ups. Why don't we go ahead and do this, guys? Let's just go ahead and stand up really quick. For me, what I like to start with is, if we're just going to start something really basic, we'll start with a little bit of a joint warm-up. I'll get into it in a second here. What we're going to do is we're going to rotate the wrist really quick. Still about 5 times one direction. Go about 5 times the other direction. Okay, and then we're going to rotate the elbows. A few right here, and a few right this way. All right? And watch out behind you. We'll just do a couple of arm rotations, maybe about 3 to 5 arm rotations. Be careful not to get the person behind you, unless they got it coming. Maybe about 3 to 4, 3 to 5 coming forwards, right? The other way. And you just switch arms about 3 to 5 one way, 3 to 5 the other way. Happy Saturday, everybody. Happy Saturday. All right, we're here for a good cause. Help out some great people, amongst great people, so it makes it really easy. Love thyself, right? And what I always say too is if you time it just right, you might be able to love the person right before you. Right? All right, so here's what we want to do is we want to practice. Why don't we get a couple of squats in too, right? Hips back, feet outside, shoulders apart. You guys are all clustered. If we just get 5 squats in, just 5 squats. That's it, just 5. Nothing crazy. Not like a clean and jerk, nothing today. All right? So here's the main thing I want to practice. All right, getting in this position, almost kind of like a split jerk stance, almost, not quite. Right? We want to get those hips nice and back, hands out, bring them forward. No rep! All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3, no rep! Stop. And then another one. 1, 2, 3, no rep, right? 1, 2, 3, no rep! Oh, that was better. Not your best. There's people that are paying a good piece of money, right? 4 teams of 4. For a good cause, still. But they expect your best, right? So we can give more best. 1, 2, 3, no rep! Yes! If any of you guys have competed, and I know like even just doing the open right now, I like to know that I did not complete my rep. So I like to let them know their rep, whether they hit it or not. Maybe give them a quick reason why I did lock out, right? Didn't do whatever, blah, 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 blah. Pick your piece of information, but definitely that emphatic rep is the funnest part of the day when I teach. So, anyway, good?
Yeah?
All right.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. All right, guys. Some quick introductions. We have we have 3 head judges, and then we have a head judge the head judges, director of judges. So each workout we have, when you come to your area during the competition, we'll have one of these boards, and I'll have the name of the workout, and I'll have the name of the head judge for that.
Can you make
workout.
one just to see if it works?
And I'll have an event manager, a WOD manager. We also have most of our WOD managers here too. Few are very important. All of them are really important. But you'll also have your judge assignment which lane you'll be in.
I could actually see
You'll
him.
always know if someone's missing. Hey, there's no judge in lane 3. Where's Joe? Where are you, Joe? Oh, there he is. Okay, come back to your lane. So if you ever wonder where you should be or need to ask someone a question about what's going on, all you have to do is take a look at this board. This person here is going to be, there's going to be one of these at each, 2 of these, right? 2 WOD managers at each workout. They're going to be running this timing. They're going to be starting the heats, making sure we're on time. They're going to be checking in athletes that are checking in for the next heat that's up next. They're very important. They're going to be running around. Melanie, who's right there, she's going to be coordinating all the WOD managers. So we'll have WOD managers at each station, and then Melanie's organizing those guys. So for the purpose of judges, you're going to be at your area. You might be a substitute. So if we have all the lanes filled with judges and we have some people extra, you may be still in that area, but just as a sub in case someone needs to go to the bathroom, get something to eat, something like that. Questions about that stuff? Pretty simple. So we're going to get started. Brandon, raise your hand. Brandon's the director of judges, so he's in charge of all the judges. If there's ever a time when there's discrepancy or a problem with like a score sheet, something like that, you guys will just grab your head judge for that event. So let's say Ro, raise your hand. She happens to be the head judge of that event. There's a problem with the score. Someone has an issue. You go to Ro. You explain what's wrong with Ro. She gives her decision on that. If it ever gets to the point where there's still an issue, we'll get Brandon. Brandon will come over. His word is fine. All right. We also have, which we implemented this at Battleground, a zero tolerance policy for any kind of abusive language, any kind of behavior, disrespect to the judges, spectators, fellow athletes. Hopefully we won't have any of that. We've been pretty lucky because we have great energy and great athletes. But if there's any of that, please let your wild manager know, the head judge know. We'll come over, we'll deal with it. Good, so, yes?
Also, everybody watching, this year we have judges standard operating procedures. So if you could please read through this, everybody who's not here today, you'll get yours either the day of the event or if we see you before. Plus you'll get it in an email as well. So everybody is going to get this in an email. The last page is going to be a statement of understanding. If you could print your name at the top and sign it at the bottom. It will also be with your payment information. So if you want to be paid by Venmo, PayPal, check, or if you're just volunteering, this is how we will know to pay you. So make sure this gets to Brian or myself or Ben, and this is how you're going to get paid. So there's also a waiver this year for judges. So you also need to sign that waiver. We know you're not working out, but you're out there with the equipment and everything, so we'd like for you guys to sign the waiver as well. So everybody just know that's coming for everybody not here. So thank you guys.
Also, one thing, if you're going through this packet, just so that you're not confused, because you'll see a lot of movements in there. Those movements may or may not be in these workouts. So this is kind of a general idea that we're going to be giving out to all of our competitions. So we'll go into specific movements. There might be some movements in here like for the worm. They're not in that packet. So we'll go over those too. So if there's nothing else, I'll turn it over to our judges. We're going to go through each and every workout, score sheets for those, standards of movement, all that stuff. All right, thank you guys. I'll turn it over to Brandon, if you, or who's doing the first one?
I do.
You're going to be the
Hi everyone, I'm Ro. I'll be your head judge for the first workout.
Bohica, presented by Bingo, is a dumbbell strength field. Teams will have 20 minutes to complete as many rounds as possible of 21, 15, 9, dumbbell thrusters and pull-ups. Beginners and masters 50+ teams will complete hand release push-ups instead of pull-ups. Your score will be the total number of repetitions completed within the allotted time. One athlete will work at a time and must complete round before the next athlete can start. Athletes can go in any order of their choosing, and once all 4 team members have completed the sequence, can choose any athlete to start another round of round. This will continue until the 20-minute mark. For more information, visit our website, battlegroundevents.com, or Instagram at battlegroundevents.
Alright, so Bohica, or bend over, here it comes again, is dumbbell round. So 20-minute time cap, AMRAP, and teams of 4, as you heard in the video. So the weights finish of each thruster. And then you're gonna go back down. So 21, and then 21 pull-ups. And pull-ups are full extension at the bottom, and then chin over the bar. It must clear the top of the bar. And if athletes are doing butterfly or cooking pull-ups, and sometimes that first pull-up or two does not clear the bar, you're not going to count the rep until you see their chin clear the bar. And be really clear if they did not clear their chin over the bar with a no rep, and you can say chin over the bar, so they know the cue for next time to actually get the rep. So 21, 15, 9 for the beginners, instead of the pull-ups, it's going to be hand release push-ups, and so chest hits the deck, and your hands will leave the floor. Toes stay on the ground, so and that'll be hand release 15, 9 also. And then at the end of the four athletes that finish, and there's still time remaining, any one of the four athletes can start round 5. So it doesn't matter if it's that last person, and then just boom, and start again. That's up to them. So I think they would want to, but you never know. Are there any questions about your dumbbell thrusters or pull-ups?
Yes, 2.
Yeah.
The first one is I'm really short, and I know that the butterfly pull-ups, they look like they hit when I'm standing on the ground, and the bar's like 4 inches higher than I am. So will we have step stools to be able to properly make that?
We'll have something for the athletes too.
To be able to get up to the front, that's a really great question, because I know how that feels. I also try to be at a place where I can see, I'll be like next to them, but maybe off to the side in front of them a little bit, so that I can see their chin go over. But if they're using the box, you can stand on the box too, the whole time that they're doing it.
And you know what we had other days too, where the rig was just so packed because there's 2 people per bar. So last thing we have time because it's a big event, that there should be more space for you.
Because we'll have 10 lanes at a time. Are we 10 lanes?
10 lanes.
10 lanes. So there actually will be more space.
More space for you. Again, whatever.
My second question about the thrusters. If they come up with one arm, is it okay? Is it a rep if they come up with both arms and they have to go at the same time? For the thrusters. So versus this.
So as long as, so what you're saying is if they come down and like the left one is stronger and the right is like there, as long as this one stays up, that one comes up, that's okay. It's not like up and then
So you would count it once both arms are fully locked out. Okay.
channel.
If an athlete drops their dumbbells, are the other athletes allowed to move them
On
during
their
the
team, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The other thing I was thinking about the other day was, because I was going through the judges thing, a lot of times when it gets heavier, they kind of move around. And I think that they're done because they have up here, but they're not stable underneath. That should not count until, you shouldn't give the good.
So they have total control over.
Yeah, just like with the barbell, you want to have control, but a lot of times too, they come up, like, they think that's locked out, but it's not. So don't count that. Okay. Just chin up overhead.
Yeah, so if they start going back down, no rep, lockout at the top.
If you're able to tell them to stop in that movement, that should, and they can hold it for, a minute or 2, that should be where the standard is. It's not holding it here. That has to be locked out a little bit.
And off on the thrusters. I saw on 20.2 where an athlete for their dumbbells from the bottom and just putting them on here. They were starting from the bottom. Do they have to start on top to make that bottom?
They can start at the bottom.
They're starting at the bottom, I think, because.
Right? So they could already, for example, get the
You're starting at the squat.
come up here and then just one squat. Would that count?
That to me is one.
It's
Because you're
essentially a
doing-
squat clean because I understand what he's saying. I mean, because I don't think we're going to count to see if they're at full hip extension in a squat.
The
clean.
rep
It's
will
like
start
that.
at the bottom and
Get
finish
here,
at the
get
top.
here.
Like this is the start.
Right.
At the bottom of the
If
squat.
if they're not starting up here and then doing that.
Yeah, we're not worried about that first thing. But if they drop the dumbbells every time, or the dumbbell every time, then they got to bring it up anyways.
Right. So that counts?
Yeah.
Good question.
I have a question too. I think you kind of alluded to this too. Control of the dumbbells on the way down, right? Dropping the dumbbells. Is there any kind of a rule with that?
Control to the hips.
Well, is that what you're, okay.
Yeah. So they can't just like come here and then
You
drop
just drop them.
from here down, from the hips, then they can drop it once it gets to the hip level. Anything higher than that,
It's a safety
the
issue.
runners, so they might bounce somewhere else and hit someone else. We just want safety wise. Yeah, so as long as they control it to the hips or the chest level.
I would say from here.
So if they don't, are we not counting that last rep?
They gotta do one more rep over.
Okay.
Until you count that last rep, you gotta do that rep over again because
So at the finish, they need to have control even on the 21st
Yeah.
rep or
Here's the last
59th rep.
So the proper response would be, if they didn't control, would just be to say no rep,
redo that last rep.
redo that last rep. Okay.
Control your dumbbell.
Control your dumbbell. That's the easy one.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a no rep, make it short and make it quick.
Yep.
Because you're going through the movement. So if I give it up here, no rep, lock out. Lock out. Or come down, hips. No rep, hips. Or just be real quick. Inside so what you're telling me. So you're gonna be moving quick.
Any other questions?
It's a full squat, right? They can't just like dip a little.
It's a full squat, so hip crease below your knees. Full squat. And I think there might be an individual.
Yeah, so the athletes, we just want to make sure that all the athletes have to go, doesn't matter what order they go, and then once all the athletes are done, they can go again, but it doesn't matter what order. So if the second person wants to go, do it again, the first person burned out, doesn't matter, as long as they go and complete that full frame. You can't
Right.
stop in the middle.
You can't sub in someone else during that round.
If you're on the second round and someone starts it, they're just too tired.
They've already started.
They already started, but if another person wants to come in and do it again, that whole set that they just did doesn't count. So depends how much time it is. Alright. So this is individuals.
So individual Bohica is the same thing. You're just counting it for one person. With the 21, 15, 9. Same thing, dumbbell thrusters and pull-ups or hand release push-ups. And that is is it 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. So the only thing that's different is the time cap. 10 minutes for an individual.
So there you can do it twice.
Thank you.
4 rounds, easy.
All right, are you ready?
No.
Test it out.
Alright, we're gonna definitely.
In real time, how many rounds can you do in 10 minutes, Brian?
Who's judging it?
So I'm gonna pass this around, here's the score sheets. So that way you have a better idea of how to score this, so then you have athletes 1, 2, 3, 4, all set up. And then after that, it's optional for whoever else.
They're up to 8, so up to 2 rounds per athlete, if they can do that in 20 minutes. And at the bottom, there's just the total reps that they completed as a team. And if they did complete a full round of, their 9 thrusters, then you would discount how many they have. All right.
So with scoring, we have scoring here too. It's hard to see on the papers we have. We have little numbers here. That's for that round.
When that's
When it's
completed.
completed. So that way, if they're getting to this round, they only get like maybe 2 here. You'll have a better idea of how to add it up. So that way, for total reps, don't have to worry about counting or adding everything up.
Math involved.
Yeah, just add whatever numbers left from here because it's all in each square. Okay? 'Cause that will help with scoring, right? So that way they have no questions about it. You just enter it and be done. But again, what you guys are the judge. So once they're signing that paper saying that they're done, there shouldn't be any question or any issues with the actual taking.
With signing it with teams, is there a team captain or someone that needs to sign it, or
It should be a team captain, but if that person's on the ground and you get them off.
But they just need to know that they're signing so that really all 4 people would agree with the score that they're signing off.
Ben, what's the between heat times?
Oh.
Is that like 5 minutes?
Between the reps.
Oh,
In between the heats.
How much
We're running the heats on a 30-minute.
Okay, so we have 10
So there's
minutes
10
there.
minutes in between.
And then
So we don't have that much time. We have a lot of time to actually recover and get off and get the next team on there.
Yeah.
And then with only 10 lanes being used, I think there'll be fewer traffic jams.
Yes. Alright, so that's the team. This is individuals. Just a shorter or smaller score sheet. Same thing.
Solid looking score sheets. I'm just saying.
I wish I could see those little numbers though.
Huh?
That'd be great. I just can't see them on the screen. The little numbers on the side.
It's not my
So
fault.
three fast questions. One team estimate must complete. The demo question close before next team member may start. And then once team member is completed, any team member can follow for additional time minutes. So that's separate. Okay.
We have the list to number 2.
Next one.
Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, presented by Grit Tag Team, will consist of 4 stations and will be scored as 2 separate events. Teams can choose which station each athlete will start at. Once the event starts, athletes will spend 4 minutes at every station with a 16-minute running clock. There will not be any transition time. Teams must rotate in order from station 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and 4 to 1 as the judges call. Your score for Part A will be total calories on the Concept 2 skier and rower completed within 16 minutes. Athletes can adjust the parameters, but must not touch the computers. If the machines reset, all previous calories will be lost and not scored.
Brandon, press the spacebar. Spacebar.
Station 3 will be a clean complex. Each athlete will have 4 minutes to find their max load clean, plus hang clean, plus front squat. Only the heaviest successful weight for each athlete will be counted. Your score will be the sum of the heaviest completed weights of all 4 athletes. The team member at the resting station may help with loading the bar. Men must use the 45-pound bar, and women will use the 35-pound bar. The platform must be clear of all unused equipment for the lifts to count. The entire complex must be completed within the 4-minute window to count. You can choose to power or squat clean, but must stand upright with hips and knees locked out between each movement of the complex. Performing a hang squat clean does not count towards your front squat. For more information, visit our website, battlegroundevents.com, or our Instagram @battlegroundevents. Station 3 will be a clean complex.
All right, hello, I'm Gordon, and I am the head judge for Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, Lot 2. Video pretty much covers it. The computers take care of most of the job. Does anybody here not know how to work a C2 computer? Rower, bike, skier? Anyone? Okay, everybody know how to read cows. This actually came up last time. All right, good. So it's total cows for the teams, okay? So in the team competition, you're going to set them up at each station, and you're going to be there to judge the complex, okay? Then you're going to run back as soon as the complex is over, as soon as the wad's completed, and then run to each of the computers and get the total cows. If for some reason somebody touches the computer, which I would say don't touch the computer over and over and over again, and they will do it anyways. When they zero out that cow, that's a 0 for their team. There will be many tears shed. Okay? So if they touch the computer, that's on them. Make sure though that at the end of the wad, you run up to the computer and get those get the cows down, because the computers will reset. Usually takes about a minute, so that's why I walk right away. If they're complaining about their clean complex or whatever, stay away from me. Let me write down your score. Okay? On the complex, the cleans can be any kind of clean. Power clean, squat clean, it's up to them. Okay? But once they pick the bar up off the ground, it shouldn't touch the ground again. So the hand clean can actually go below the knee. We're not going to make you say, oh, that was below the knee, a rep. It can
can go below the knee if they want to, but it's up to them that if they touch the ground, they have to start the complex over again. Also, as the video said, just make sure if they go from the hang and do a full hang squat clean, that does not count as their front squat as well. They only do short movements. They clean it, stand up, and then do another front squat. Okay? 3 separate movements. Opening their hips up, standing up after each move. Okay? On the individuals, follow them from station to station. Oh, back to the teams. When somebody's cleaning, doing the complex, the resting person can help them change weights. That's fine. So then, the order, well, yeah, you have to follow the order. They don't get to shuffle any way they want. So 1 goes to 2, 2 goes to 3, 3 goes to 4, 4 goes to 1. They have to follow that order. So once they're in line, that's it. They can pick what they want after that. There should be a marching. Now the individuals is slightly different. Because it's an individual, you don't have the luxury of running back at the end to record the computer or reset. So you follow them along. Stand by them by the skier. When they're done, write down their cows. Stand by them by the rower. When they're done, write their cows. Then get their best weight for the complex. If you look at the scorecard, there's multiple spots. Write down, as a judge, every time they complete it successfully, the complex, write down that weight. Because if the time stops in the middle of the complex, they don't get that. It's not just because it started. They have to finish the complex, stand the last front squat up before we hit 0, okay? So you should write down each complex as they complete it until they're final. With the individuals, you just write down the total, the final weight. With the teams, you're going to have 4 different weights that you're then going to add up and add for a total. Okay? And then just so we can check your math, circle the highest weight that each person gets to, and then at the score table they'll be able to see what you added together. Any questions?
I just want one thing we discussed before. So woman has to use 35 pounds, men have to use 45 pounds. They cannot.
35-pound bar for women, 45-pound bar for men. I think there's 2 stations set up, right? No, it's just one platform. So there'll be 2 different bars. They can swap it out. The rescue person can help do that.
One thing for individual, is judges gonna in this session just zero the computer and start the computer, or the athletes, or someone in the competition, someone will run around?
When I say to the athletes, don't touch the computer, I don't want them to get the feeling they can ever touch the computer, so I don't want to ever ask them to touch the computer. So you should zero out the station, okay? And if you don't know how to do that, speak up now and we'll go through it. There's a C2 computer right over there.
So Gordon, I think what his question was is at what point with the individual should the judge or someone else reset that rower since they're next to them? That's what his question was.
There's 14-minute gap between the WOD. You can zero.
No, I mean during. So let's say you're standing with the person doing the skier. While you're there, at what point do you reset the rower so that it's already on by the time they transition to that?
I think the judge that's with the athlete, don't worry about it. The head judge will go around.
The head judge will take care of it. Perfect.
Yeah. We'll zero out at the beginning of the WOD. Don't touch the computer.
But, for individuals, when they get, let's say they do the ski first, right?
Okay.
By the time that's 14 minutes. The next one is ski or whatever. That will zero out already.
Yeah. So within the 4 minutes that they're on the ski erg, the rower will need to be turned on during the workout.
No.
Who will be turning that on?
So the rowers turn on automatically on a C2 when you do your first pulls, and it'll go to calves if it's set up properly. So they should be able to sit right down, like at the 4-minute mark, it hits 4, they come off the skier, you write down what cows they have, that person should be able to walk over to the rower, and within the first pulls, it should engage.
So,
no?
I see what he's saying though. So you're me having competed quite a few times, a little bit of gamesmanship. If I can be nice to my judge and my judge turns it on for me before I get there, I get an advantage over the guy who doesn't do it.
Yeah.
So you want to make uniformity.
Oh, okay.
Either everybody all the judges turn it on before the guy gets there, or none of the judges turn it on?
All right, well, then I would say that you shouldn't be touching the computer. They should be pulling.
Right.
Is once, if they're getting into the foot stretchers or whatever, then they can tap the just row.
Or, so another way what Joe was saying is, as the athlete, I'm getting off the skier, I'm going on the rower, I push the button to turn it on. So by the time I get my feet in there and my first pull, I'm about 10, 15 seconds ahead of the other athlete who just jumped on and started pulling. So it takes, 10, 15 seconds for it to turn
I
on.
think the C2 is actually going to register that.
It does not.
Energy? No?
Does not.
Sometimes
Okay.
but you pull 3 or 4 times and it's still at 0, 0, 0.
Okay, all right. Well, so here's, I won't get into technical. With the flywheel spinning, even though the computer's not registering yet, that speed, when it starts to engage, it'll spot the speed. But, all right. Won't get into the technicality. So the judges should not be zeroing it out. That's up to the athletes to touch everything along. At the end of the WOD, record it, zero.
So wait, are we
That
gonna,
applies to individuals only, is what you're saying, though, too.
Yes.
okay, so we're gonna allow the individuals to touch the computer to turn it on.
They have to, yeah. Otherwise, then the judges might not. They got it. So with individuals, they get to touch the computer. They get to touch the computer then. So let's go ahead and let them do it.
All in that thing, so we all allow them to touch it, or we all don't?
So, with the individuals, we're gonna let them touch the computer, I guess, because then they can get their cows up to speed. And frankly, the reason why we're telling them not to touch the computer is so it doesn't zero themselves out and have them come running to you. So if they can get more cows on the computer, great, more power.
So then for teams, are we gonna allow the first?
Well, yeah,
It
the
doesn't
team,
Well,
apply to
they're
teams.
beyond anything.
it'll be on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the teams are going to shut off with the teams. Takes a minute for it to shut off.
The transition, there's no transition time between each athlete, so it's only that first.
When the team first starts.
The judge
It will just be an ongoing pull between them. Yeah.
But at the very beginning, before the watch starts, judge has to make sure all the computers are.
Yeah, in the 14-minute time, we're gonna make sure that everything's zeroed out. We'll probably do it within a minute of the start time so that it doesn't reset again and they're all ready to go.
I think that's something important for the judges to focus on.
Yeah, I was wondering, so for the individuals, they get to touch the monitor. I was thinking maybe they can only touch it once to turn it on, and then again they can.
Nah, that's crazy talk, because then hey, he touched his computer 3 times or whatever. I don't know. If they mess up their computer, that's on them.
It doesn't start on time.
I mean, yes, there might be a couple of cows to grab there, so okay, go ahead and let them grab cows. They should be able to jump on a rower, start pulling, and it will record. Now, maybe it misses the first cow or 2, okay, so if they hit on earlier and they get 2 more cows, great. So they can touch it. If they zero it out, that's on them. I guess that's the biggest thing. The individuals, if they zero out their computer before you get the cow countdown, that's on them. Okay, on the clean complex again, once they pick the bar up, should touch the floor again. Okay, and clock's 0. If they haven't finished that front squat, they don't get a squat. Alright?
So as the bars are moving up, on that last front squat, coming up, sometimes out, doesn't count.
And then the hips go. And of course, on the front squat, make sure their hip crease is below the knee. Watch their femurs. Make sure that it's angled slightly down. That's what you need to watch. So you should be standing off slightly to the side. Okay? Any questions? Alright, thank you.
Food bar, presented by Compete Force, will use the 4-person, 300-pound rower and is as many reps as possible of worm cleans, synchronized burpees, or thrusters, and another set of synchro burpees. Beginners complete worm squats instead of thrusters. At the call of 3, 2, 1, go. Teams will complete cleans, lifting the worm from the ground, the same shoulder of all members before returning to the ground. Teams can reorganize the members however they please during the workout. Synchro burpees must have all members' chests on the ground before standing, and a 2-foot takeoff is required over the worm. Thrusters will have all members squat below parallel and finish carrying the worm over the head and onto the opposite shoulder. For more information, visit our website, battlegroundevents.com, or our Instagram at battlegroundevents.
Hey guys, I'm Reza. I'm the head judge for this event. For this event, everyone, intermediate, RX, and master, they can all use the same worm. It's 300 pounds worm, which is back there. So for the clean and even for the thruster, they have to, all 4 of them has to face one direction. They cannot be, sometimes they like to one direction, the other direction, that will not count. So all 4 has to face one direction. For the clean, it has to come basically from the ground all the way to the shoulder. And at the top, all 4 person lock their hip. Once it's hit, then all 4 lock their hip at the top knee and hip, then that's going to be, that will count as 1 rep. For the thruster, the rep starts at the bottom, so it should be on everyone's, let's say, right shoulder. It will go down. All 4 has to break the parallel. Coming up, it doesn't have to be locked at the top. They just need to move it to the other shoulder. Once it touched all 4 shoulder on the other side, then that's counted as 1 rep. Then they can go. Sometimes we see that people practice on that. They go suddenly 3 of them move into one shoulder and 1 couldn't for some reason. It was stuck. That's fine. She or he can just move it up, but the rep will finish once it touches everyone's shoulder on the other side. For the sync burpees, what we're looking at, all 4 person has to touch the ground. The chest has to touch the ground before they stand up and jump. So they can, once everyone touches the ground, then they can, with whatever speed that they have, someone may be faster, someone is slower, they can get up and jump. And for jumping, they have to jump with 2 legs, but they can land with, they don't have to land with 2 legs, with 2 feet. So they can, let's say one person is faster, he or she jumps and then he go down, that's fine, but he has to stay down until the other 3 comes and they're down then going back. If they're not sinking, they're not doing that, you need to tell them and basically no rep, because that will mess up your count on that. Any questions?
I did. So you alluded to one thing on the thrusters, right? So if all 3 people are able to get it over, but you have one person that's stuck over here, can they do this?
No.
Cannot do that.
No.
So they have to somehow make the way to get it over there.
Right. They cannot go under the worm. Worm has to go above them. They cannot go under.
Makes it tougher when someone's 6'6" and then you have a girl that's 5 feet tall. That may happen, right in the middle.
Also make sure that, because they might be different heights, all 4 has to break the parallel at the bottom, and they all 4 has to lock their knee. If they don't do that, maybe one person is taller and he or she just do this, and everyone else are below on the down. Any questions on
We'll go over a little more on that with it too.
Yeah. That's for beginners. Yes, unless they have injuries, or I would say yes. Beginners should jump into this. If one person can, I don't see any reason why not. So.
I was trying to flip it over to you.
But they're picking up into 300 pounds weights. If they're picking up that, they should be able to mark it up before, but just confirm it that if you're RX or intermediate, and just make sure you have the correct storage. What is the individual? Yes. So for individuals, it's a slam ball. So the burpee is a burpee, but then it's a little warm. They're going to use the slam ball over. It's 180 grams.
Reza, they're bringing one over to you.
Don't do the Atlas Stone.
Yeah, you take it constant.
Atlas Stone. Atlas Stone.
Love that.
So for that, again, make sure they need to pick it up and then move it over the shoulder. They cannot do this. They have to stand up and throw it over the shoulder. Again, they cannot do like this, that doesn't. They have to stand up and throw it over the shoulder. And the burpee is just regular burpees. Make sure they do the after the burpee is done, they jump up.
Reza. Over the worm.
Are they jumping over the ball?
They're jumping over the worm.
The worm or the ball?
Oh.
Are they jumping over a worm?
The
or
worm
a ball?
over the worm.
So
The worm will still be there.
Okay.
The worm's going to be in this station. There are going to be 10 worms in each station.
Okay.
So for the burpee again, they need to jump over it.
It's a true story, guys. Did Ben tell you guys how they make another worm? They cut it in half, and somehow the worms become two worms. It grows into a full worm.
Leave 2 worms and then tomorrow you come in and like.
Yeah, you're like four. Yeah, you can't let to split it down the middle because it'll have 2 heads.
2 heads are better.
Also, it's a facing the worm. It's not jumping. It's not striking. It's facing the worm.
So when you said they stand up, they have to lock up the hips?
They don't have to lock up the hips at the top, but for the slam ball or for the
slam ball.
they don't have to lock up necessarily, but they need to like come in. It doesn't have to be locked up, but they cannot go under it. So they have to be standing up, but not necessarily not locked up.
And then for the slam ball squats?
For the slam ball or squat, they can hold it however they want, either here, up there, or anything. So just go down below the parallel. For that, they have to lock it up at top. That would be one.
Yeah, they can roll out of it. Over the shoulder, over your head. Like this.
Anyway.
Can you imagine that?
No.
But again, the same as
I wanna try it.
I wanna try it, but I don't think I'll
So
succeed.
they can for the first one. First one, they can basically do this.
I don't know.
No, they can't. Sorry.
100 pound.
It's in my jungle blood.
What are
For the
you
first thing, for the first one, they have to start. Yes.
That's funny.
So the reps start from the top and then finish at the top. So this would be 1 rep.
So picking it up is not a rep.
Right.
So just getting it. That should be done. Not getting this.
Yes.
No, gotcha. Standing up. And then.
Any questions on individual or team?
Yeah, make sure that the ball is going over the shoulder, not side, because I've seen a lot when they come and they just go over and it goes to the side. So make sure it does go over the top versus shoulders.
So just to clarify, for the squat, it starts here, down, ends here.
Yes. So these are your classics runs for the judge for the scoring sheet. So it's just really it's the same, just the rep counts at the top of it. So for all intermediate and beginners and RX, the burpees are 10, but then the only thing that changes for the warm, it's going to be 4 for beginners, 8 for intermediate, and 10 for RX. And then individual. Make sure when you're judging, just keep watching all four of them. Don't get one person off like that. Make sure everyone kind of going below, and don't hesitate. If one person doesn't go down, just call it down already.
Okay, guys, just a couple more things. Everyone should get their assignment, so what workout you're going to be assigned to. But that doesn't mean that you will end it. You may be pulled to do another workout. So even though you have your assignment for your workout ahead of time, definitely familiarize yourself with that more than the others. But make sure you know all. You might be short, someone will show up, say, hey, you're going to the third one, or vice versa. So be aware of that. The second thing is there's one group of athletes that we did not have videos and score sheets and standards for. Those are the adaptive athletes. There's only one heat of those for each workout, and it's not even a full heat. I think there's only 6 or 7 of those athletes. So we'll go over that. It's kind of a specialty thing. It's not really a super competitive division. All of the adaptive athletes, male and female, will be in that one heat. So before they come up, then they'll also have 2 or 3 spotters with them. For example, the wheelchair athletes will have to go out to come out on the competition floor with 1 or 2 other people. But if you are there and adaptive athletes are there, don't worry. We'll make sure that there's plenty of time where you know what you're judging and how to judge them. We'll also make sure everyone gets all the information on where to check in the day of each competition day. The nice thing is we got a later start than usual. I think the first heat started at 10:30, 10 or 10:30, depending on where you're at. And they're on the 30 minutes, so there should be lots of time for bathroom breaks. If you did Battleground, you know it was crazy because there were 700 athletes for like one after the other all day with limited bathrooms, limited time for bathrooms. So this is going to be a lot different. We're also going to be in the middle of Long Beach Convention Center halls A and B, but there's I think 12 other sports going on at the same time as ours. We'll have 3 separate areas for each 70 by 70. There'll be tables and there'll be our workout will be cordoned off with barricades. But know that it's going to be loud. There's going to be 1,000 people or so walking in and out through the aisles. If you can't find an athlete, we'll do our best to try to find them, but they've been made aware of it as well. There's no overhead PA system that's going to be able to reach an athlete that we can't find or a team we can't find, so we'll do our best. There'll also be a breakout room that's on Pine Street. So if you're familiar with downtown Long Beach, in the convention center, you've probably seen that big building, the arena that has the whales painted on the outside. That's not where we're at. We're on the other side, halls A and B. The entrance is on Pine and Shoreline Drive. So no matter where you end up parking, you're going to have to walk to Pine and Shoreline to get into that main entrance. We have our own breakout room where you're going to check in and get a wristband to get you in and out of the halls. And that's where your food and water and everything else will be. Yes?
You'll give us instructions, emails.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to give you a quick version. Yeah, you have all that. If you don't, contact Brian and for myself. Yes?
Just designated parking for us, or do we be on our own?
You're on your own for parking. If you can carpool, it'll be better. I believe parking is $10.
And are you talking about parking for the convention center $10 or parking for the aquarium and that little strip mall?
I haven't researched how much that is. That's about the same distance walk, I think. It might be cheaper, I don't know. There's a parking lot, I think, off of Linden where the Performing Arts Center is as well. They're all about the same distance. So however you can find cheap parking, carpool, Uber,
Yeah, I have a few things. One, we put a lot of work into that packet, and I think that it's going to answer a lot of your questions. So if you please could read over that packet. Another thing is our scoring. If you could please write legibly on your scorecards and make sure you print the athlete's name or the team name and also your name. I'm sorry, your name is already on there. 30 more athletes, and you're like, oh, I don't remember that person. So it's just very important that you guys write legibly on the scorecards. I think that's it.
I have a question. The wristband that we get, it gets us into the whole convention center or just in our hall? And then, how about for people, are we gonna be doing the discounted rates for viewers to come in?
Spectators, yeah. I sent out a link, so if you guys have anyone that needs spectator tickets, they gave me a limited amount that we can I can sell until I sell out of them. It's $10 a day versus I think they're charging 30 or something to get in.
Yeah.
Your judge wristband will get you in and out of the whole expo.
I thought it was like $50 for like maybe it's for the
For
weekend.
both days, I think, yeah. And yeah, you'll get those when you check in. We were trying to get them in time to give them to you now, but maybe it's better. Half the people lose them. And I know we're kind of serious, and we should be, right? We're judging. We want to do a good job. We want to make sure that our judging is respected by everybody. But have fun. We appreciate you guys coming out. We have another event after this one in April. So we're gearing up for that one. That's going to be at Dignity Health Center. So we'd love to have you guys come back for that. That's the former home of the CrossFit Games. So we're excited about that. Yes, Joe.
Yeah, so I actually bought some of those tickets too, just because I know that we're gonna have some spectators that they know they want to be there, but they don't know that they need to actually pay their way in.
Right.
When do we get those?
Right. So if I don't actually give them to you, find you and give them to you, they're actual one-day tickets, then you'll go check in at those breakout rooms, which are on Pine. So you'll get a map of the whole facility. The breakout rooms have access from Pine. You can go directly into them. You don't need to go through the main entrance. So when you come in there in the morning, if spectators bought tickets or you need to check in and get your wristband, you can go in there without having to go inside the.
Could I send people there on will call or my name?
Yes.
Do that? Okay.
Anything else?
If you guys know anybody, we are still recruiting more judges, more and merrier. So if you have any friends, have them either come to me or Shannon, and we'll get them all signed up. So.
How many athletes?
Right around 50. But the nice thing is it's spread over 2 days, so we're able to give you guys more time in between heats. One of the workouts, I believe it's one that Reza's head judge for. There'll be some times when there's nobody in a heat. There's no team there, just because the way we space it out, we're trying to give all the teams and individuals right around an hour, minimum an hour, preferably 90 minutes between workouts, so that they have some time to recover.
Oh, sorry, I do have one more thing. If you could, well, actually, please do. If you have to use the restroom, just make sure you're going to your head judge. There's nothing worse than getting ready to start a heat and we're short a judge. So just make sure you're checking with your head judge and that you guys are finding a replacement before you use the restroom. Like this one, you're gonna have plenty of time. You'll have maybe 14 minutes in between. So it shouldn't be a problem, but if by chance you do have to use the restroom and a heat's coming up, just make sure that you and your head judge have found a replacement and that there's someone, because your name is going to be on the board, so if you're nowhere to be found, I mean, that we could, I don't know, like, it could cause problems.
Are we gonna have like separate restrooms, or is it pretty much just try to?
So the convention center, I think, has
Yeah,
several
the convention
places.
center has huge restrooms. If you've ever been in any of their expos there.
2 or 3 centers to them, and each of the restrooms have about 20.
Yeah.
20 stalls.
Oh, yeah,
it's
so
like
it shouldn't not.
huge.
Yeah.
It's not like the
Yeah, that's
Matter of fact, Fallout last year, restrooms, we lose some of you guys, it's right next to the bar.
That's right. I know where to head. But it's like- Also, how many of you guys come from a gym that's sending athletes to compete? How many? Yes, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have an area, it's in that same breakout room that's going to be set aside for affiliates to kind of set up an area to hang out, have their bags there. We won't be able to monitor that stuff, so don't leave your Rolexes and your $1,000 cash in there. Also, it's first come, first serve, so let your people at your gym know. If we run out of space in there, you guys are on your own to find a spot to set up your canopy or whatever. There's limited
So
space.
there are canopies. We can't use
there's no need to bring them inside because, right, so we're just gonna cordon off, but if you run out of space and you wanna set it up in the parking lot or something, that's on you guys, right?
So just in general, we don't have a designated area, guys, for you guys to keep your belongings. So unless you have some deal with your affiliates to hold their things, try your best to pack light. We just won't have a place for you guys to store your equipment. I didn't get that on the video, so you're fine. Nothing happened. Are there any questions in general? No.
We'll have a table at each of these workout areas, so if you have a purse or small bag of water or whatever, you can put it there. All right, thank you guys, appreciate it.